So moving on to, I believe we're back to our superintendent's report. And I think we need to, I'll leave it to Superintendent Dixon to prioritize. I think we have a time certain for some that have time constraints.
Thank you, Chair Moss. One of my favorite days of the year when we welcome students to share their great talents, both in art and writing. And I'm going to change the agenda a little bit so that we can honor the families that have been here for 2 hours. And I also suggest that students get some credit for their government classes today because they have been able to witness state government in action and local officials in action. I hope that our students and their families will see the important role of our state school board members in how they impact education for every student. So with that, we'll bring up student art, and I think, Kelly, you're going to introduce the artists and have them share their art, correct? And while they're coming up, for some of our newer board members, I think we let you know that we had an opportunity to go down and have you participate in judging the art. But this tradition was started by a board member, I don't know how many years ago now, but I know when I became the superintendent, I remember walking our halls and saying, I'm not sure people would know who we serve in this building. It looked very much like a government building and the walls were very bare. And a couple of board members said, let's get some student artwork. And we partnered with the Springville Museum of Art and their great student competition, which Kelly will tell you a little bit about. But thanks to board members starting that tradition and using your funds to purchase art, I love walking in this building every day and seeing the student art. It just brings me such joy. So thank you, students, for being willing to give up your art and have that on permanent display for the people that come into this building. I know it brings all of our employees joy on a daily basis, but when people walk into the building, they get to see your talent. So thank you so much for being willing to share.
Thank you. Yes, this is my favorite day of the year. And my second favorite is when I get to move these pieces of art out into the hallway and the amount of staff that come up to me and say, wait, where is that piece going? This one's my favorite. Can it be in X, Y, and Z place? So I know it makes a huge difference in the culture and the community that we have here at the state office. So my name is Kelly Bruce Glenn. I'm Fine Arts Education Specialist at the Utah State Board of Education. I have the absolute pleasure of supporting the professional outreach programs in the schools, as well as K-12 visual art. So I'm going to share with you the selected works of art for the Utah All-State High School Art Show. The Utah All-State High School Art Show was established by the Springville Museum of Art to honor the best high school artists in the state for their talent, originality, and enthusiasm. A panel of 12 professional artists and arts administrators carefully reviewed each of the 976 entries in order to create this exhibition. They looked for works that exemplified the best of technical skill, design, and composition and conceptual development. The show has a final selection of 336 works representing 107 Utah high schools, which collectively highlight the ability, creativity, and promise of the next generation of artists. That brings me just so much joy to say that. It almost brings tears to my eyes. The Springville Museum of Art is one of our 15 professional outreach programs in the school's organizations, or as we call it, POPs. POP supports arts education in Utah's public schools by bringing professional arts organizations' educational programs to schools for free. The goal is to connect schools, teachers, administrators, and students with high-quality arts learning experiences with professional artists in the field. POP supports the state's Arts Core standards by providing arts education opportunities to all Utah schools. So I am going to let our artists introduce themselves and share which of their work is hanging and their artist statement. Yeah.
Hello, I'm Tabitha Pettit, and I'm a senior at Layton High School, and my artwork is the big blue one. It's called Migration. When making this piece, I thought about the first time stepping into a group of people after COVID restrictions were lifted. I felt very overwhelmed and afraid. The feeling of being around other humans no longer comforted or excited me like it did pre-pandemic. This piece is meant to be a reestablishment of human connection, reminding the viewer of the hundreds of people that they can impact. It is also meant to be a link between the comfort of old times and the craziness of new. Even though we may never be the same as a society, we have the possibilities that a new day holds and the hope that the old times inspire. Thank you.
I'm Brianna Christensen, and I am a senior at Pleasant Grove High School. And I did the piece on the right with the graduation cap and gown. This piece encapsulates the raw feelings I've had this year as I have moved towards graduation and making far-reaching decisions. The last few years have been very challenging for me, and I haven't always been excited for the future. I think that many people struggle with change in their lives like I do, and it's not easy. As I was drawing this composition, I was able to find peace in commemorating the past while recognizing that I could take the memories with me into a bright new future. This is my hope that as I continue to press forward, doors will open and present even more opportunities. I also hope that it will be a source of inspiration to others as they face their own doors in life. Thank you.
My name is Emerson Menges, and my piece is the middle one with the green coat. My piece is called Solitude. Solitude is the state of being alone, remote from society. This is the exact feeling the mountains give. Nature has the power to put things in perspective. It humbles you.
If we could, oh, we got one more, sorry, missed that. And when you're finished, if you would all go stand by, excuse me, by your painting, and then we'll have Mr. Bartlett take a picture of you and your family by your paintings.
Okay, my name's Vashti Kure, and I am a senior at Joab High School, and my painting is the big, colorful blue one. It is called Composition 1, Breaking Through. It is a oil painting, and I'll read my artist statement now. As an artist and a musician, I have recently discovered I have a condition called synesthesia. I see colors, textures, and shapes when I listen to music. I learned about synesthesia while studying the abstract painter Wallace Kandinsky, and I was surprised that not everyone experienced music and art the same way I did, and he did as well. This is the first large synesthesia painting that synesthesia piece I have created, and it was a huge discovery experience for me. It was as though it was also very freeing. This piece was the first thing that truly made me feel like an artist, and was inspired by the London Metropolitan Orchestra song Arrival of the Birds.
I just want to acknowledge all of the family members who are here with these incredible students, as well as our representation from the Springville Museum of Art. So thank you guys so much for being here, and thank you, students and artists, for sharing your incredible work. And if you can go stand next to your beautiful pieces of work, we can get some photos.
I think we may have a question first.
Absolutely.
Randy, member Booth, were you going to weigh in?
Yes, I was fortunate to go to the museum and look at all of the amazing art. And these students who are here today are representatives of that magnificent group of young budding artists. If you can imagine the incredible excellence of their work that you see before you now, just project yourselves 10, 15, 20 years in the future and imagine the creativity and the beauty and the new ideas that these amazing artists are going to be bringing to the world. And I just wanted to thank them and thank the board leadership for the opportunity for our board to be recognizing, putting the spotlight on this work and promoting it so that a whole new generation of amazing artists will continue to make the world a beautiful place. Thanks to these wonderful artists that are here today. My applause to them.
And after. We may have a couple rounds of applause for you guys because you deserve it. I just had a quick question and comment. I just want to thank you. This is amazing talent and also a reflection of real thoughtfulness as you guys have gone through some stuff. My kids are in your situation, and listening to how you represent through your talent your journey and challenges that you've been through is just beautiful and inspirational. So thank you for both of those and being willing to share yourself through that. I'm just curious if we have somewhere their art statements in these. Is that something we can put somewhere, circulate? Okay, before we lose
Absolutely.
that, I loved your thoughts going with your work. So thank you. Back to Superintendent Dixon.
Yeah, I think, you probably don't know this, but you will in a minute. You're the most popular moment of the day, and for years to come, because whenever you come and present your art, for me personally, I remember your face with your art, and I think about you and your artist statement. So we want to capture that, so we'd love to have you stand by your art. I know board members want to come and talk to you. There will be a lot of paparazzi around trying to catch you with your art, so not to detract from the wonderful students who are going to share their writing with us of Do the Right Thing. I think we'll take a break, board members, of about 5 minutes so that you can take pictures and we can switch out a different form of art, from visual art to our writers. So thank you so much, Kelly, for the organization.
One last comment. I'm sorry, you guys triggered this, and so I'm sorry we're holding you up, but we got one more person who wants to weigh in.
Artists are beautiful people. And I'm trying to do this without emotion. But I know. But you all are wonderful. Emerson, I have known you since 6th grade, and even before, actually. And I can't tell you how much your journey has inspired me. And Mom, you're one of my favorite moms ever. So you all are beautiful people, and the ability to put yourself out there and express what is so deep inside you is a courage that we all could learn from. Thank you.
All right, another one. Thank you. We'll take a 5-minute break then. I got no I got no art. I got no writing. I've barely got a beat. Okay, board members, we do need to move along. There you go. All right. They'll think it's lunch, like Pavlovian trigger. Okay.
Hey, that's what got me to my seat.
All right. Okay, I think we got everybody. Thank you. Let's turn back to Superintendent Dixon. One inspirational panel to another. Thank you. We've got another great group of students with us.
In the sake of time, and thank you, Chair Moss, for the sake of time and really trying to keep the theme going with honoring talented students and the adults who support them, I'm going to forego my superintendent's report, the slides that I have there, and then we'll come back to Megan at the end, Ryan, with the Employee of the Month. So just to draw your attention that my slides are really about the strategies and highlighting something that I learned in our taking stock of how we're doing on the strategic plan. And some of you have asked where you can find the updates, and so there's a screenshot of the web page that you can go to find the strategies. So if you have any questions for me on those strategies, Darren Nelson is the goal leader. I'll send you a reminder and with those slides, and we'll turn the time to Kun Win for Do the Right Thing, who is a champion of so many things and one of our just stellar employees, and he is so invested in this program. So Kun, the time is yours.
Good morning. Thank you, Superintendent Dixon, for your leadership and support. Thank you for including the 2023 Do the Right Thing on your agenda, and thank you, Mr. Chairman, board member, for your time. My name is Kung Win. I'm prevention specialist. Work with the prevention and student services My primary focus on restore practice and coordinator for the Do the Right Thing challenge. Before I brief you on the program, I'd like to acknowledge our special guests today. Our two runners-up are national champion ambassador, and you will get to know them in just a bit, who have the honor of we have the honor of announcing their recognition and their title on April 21st, 2023, along with their families and their teacher, Mrs. Stacy of West Jordan, Mrs. Maria Georges, who could not get us up and be here today. We do have Mr. Dustin Flores here from Roy Junior High. We have Ms. Kim Irvine from South Ogden joining us here today. So, have you ever wondered what would it take to achieve world peace? That's a big goal. Perhaps to do the right thing is a way, is one of those options. The purpose of the Do the Right Thing is to involve youth voice from country of Kuwait and the United States to establish ways to keep peace throughout the world. The first step to end youth violence is to actually talk about it. The Do the Right Thing challenge made this initial step possible by creating a platform for youth, giving them a voice about how youth violence affected their life and how it can be prevented. The program empowers young students in Utah and around the country to make a personal, written commitment to combat youth violence in their community. The program works because it targets youth violence in the community where youth violence takes place, and then recognize that the same community hold the greatest power to create lasting solution. Nationally, is sponsored by the Kuwait American Foundation and is managed by a national campaign to stop violence. In Utah, locally, is sponsored by the Utah State Board of Education and managed within the Prevention and Student Service since 2020. In the 2023 challenge, over 1,100 students participated in classroom discussion. 750 of students read something about youth violence, and then 250 have decided to submit for us to evaluate. And then we just honored 38 students a couple weeks ago in their recognition.
I'm Kim Irvine, and my students have been participating in this contest for 2 decades. And as a public junior high English teacher, it's important to me that you know how grateful we are to this board for sponsoring and taking care of this contest. It's so important, so thank you for taking the time to recognize these students. This contest is really interesting. These students win trips and a lot of recognition, but I think the power of this contest is the conversations that we have. The students are asked to answer these 3 questions. How has youth violence affected my life? What are the causes of youth violence? And what can my community and I do to reduce youth violence? So in my classroom, we start with the first question that we look at is, what are the causes? And it's really interesting to hear what the students feel the causes are of youth violence. The second question is a little bit harder. How has youth violence affected my life? Because then we get into kind of the nuts and bolts, and some of my students make the painful discovery that maybe sometimes they were actually the bully. It's the third question that has the power. What can my community and I do to reduce youth violence? And it's really interesting to watch as this settles onto my 8th grade students when they realize that they are empowered to make this change. And now, not only are they empowered, they're expected to. The title that these students earn is something really close to my heart because I love it. They are all ambassadors of peace. This is a lifelong commitment here. So for the rest of your lives, you are now officially entitled ambassadors of peace. And I encourage you to read these students' brave, incredible essays. Some of them are laced with poetry. Because by the end of the year, and by the end of the day, and when the contest is over, what they're doing really validates what I'm trying to have happen in my English classroom. And that is for them to have a respect for the power of the written word. So if you have a moment, I highly encourage you to read their writings because it's absolutely gorgeous. These talented, beautiful, powerful ambassadors of peace here, to me, embody my favorite quote by Margaret Mead. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, dedicated, oops, I gotta put my glasses back on now, thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has.
So just to share that this encourages 7th and 8th graders to write about the commitment. In the 2023, we were 20 teachers and 17 schools. We recognized 38 students. Collectively, 160 parent, teachers, students, and special guests were gathered on April 21st. Part of that, we award 34 students with $300 scholarship as a state finalist, 2 runner-ups as $400 scholarship, and then the 2 national finalists as $500. Collectively, we award $12,000 just this 2 weeks ago as a scholarship for all of the students. Board Member Green, Board Member Hymas, Board Member Lear, and Board Member Rio were VIP judge and most made it to the award recognition event. So thank you, Board Member, for your time, taking time out of a busy schedule to help read and evaluate this essay.
So now we're going to present to you and recognize our national runner-ups. And I'm going to read an excerpt from this student's essay. I think it's important that when I'm hurt and dealing with overwhelming emotions, I find positive ways to express the pain of this loss. I think it's important for people to find meaning in their pain as it helps to stop the cycle of violence and carelessness. And our student author is from West Jordan Middle School. The teacher is Stacy Sawyer, and it's Kazan Marsing.
I have gone through different type of youth violence throughout my life, and I know how to spot something is going on. I try my hardest to either stop the situation or get someone to help. We need to get more people in the community that are willing to help. I feel like we need to be friends and encourage each other for the better. Even just doing simple act of kindness, like saying hello or open a door for them can shine a little bit of light in the day. Amber Maynard, Royal Junior High, Teachers Maria, Georgia. So our 2 national finalists as an ambassador, in addition to scholarship that we shared earlier, they both were invited to Promise Youth Conference in May next week. Stay at Snowbird and be recognized in front of 600 attendees next week. Also, one parent, teacher, and the student will be attending national recognition in July in Washington, D.C. for 5 days. Part of that, they will meet with ambassadors from around the country, meet with members of U.S. Congress delegation to discuss the problem of youth violence, and will attend reception hosted by the ambassador to the United States for the state of Kuwait. A book I will share with you in just a bit on all of the student writing. So with that, instead of burying my terrible, wonderful, amazing, horrible voice, instead of hiding my true pain, instead of letting other people tell fable about real things, I'm using my voice for something that could help kids like me, and I will scream. Madeline Gordon from South Ogden Junior High and teachers Kim Murphy.
Be an example to others and make the choice now to stay out of youth violence and stomp out the flames that arise. Base your life on good morals and teach others to do the same. It can and will stop pain and suicide from arising in the lives of all the youth around you. And this is from Roy Junior High, teachers Dustin Flores and Zachary Jackson.
So just this is a couple of pictures from the April 21st event. We invite board members to support the program by volunteering as a VIP judge for next year challenge. We will have make the information available in September. And I encourage you to reach out to your district and encourage 7th and 8th grade teachers and students to participate at next year. You will find information here on our website, and that's our program. We'll pass out the book, and thank you for your time.
Chair Moss, I'll
Superintendent Dixon?
defer to you if there are questions or comments from the board.
Any questions, comments? Chair Hymas? Member Hymas?
Just briefly, this is the second year that I've attended this. It's terribly fantastic to read these essays, right? To put yourself out there in a vulnerable spot and to own what's happening, and to teach us and inform us. It's fantastic. We thank you. We are confident in your representation of Utah and junior high students throughout our state. So thank you.
Member Green?
Yeah, I just want to tell you congratulations. I wasn't able to be at the dinner for that and the awards ceremony, but I just want you guys to know how much I appreciated this opportunity, and to read these papers was truly humbling and truly inspiring. I was taken on journeys that, you hit rock bottom, and then the way that question is posed at the end is where that light comes in and that motivation, and I get to see a generation of students that truly, truly are so impressive and gives me a lot to look forward to, and because you were able to paint a vision and hope that I think will be able to influence the people that are around you. So well done, and congratulations.
Thank you, Member Green.
I won't get emotional.
Vice Chair
right.
Hart,
Yes,
are you okay?
I am perfectly fine, thank you. Words are just another way to express the beauty within humans, just like art is a way, visual art is a way to express beauty within humans, and you are beautiful people. Thank you.
I'll just add that. I had the chance to participate a couple years ago with Kung and greatly appreciate it. Got to read, I don't remember how many you get to read in the process, but the stories were amazing. There's tough stuff out there, and the way you guys deal with it and show hope, and I love this part. I'm using my voice for something that could help kids like me, and I will scream. Love it. You're screaming goodness out there. So thank you for what you're doing, and keep at it. Appreciate you being with us.
I want to thank the parents who support their kiddos in telling their story and sharing their voice. It makes you vulnerable as families as well, so thank you for supporting them. And I love that this program also engages teachers. So we honor the students, but the teachers who support this work. So thank you so much for your engagement with our students on this important topic. And last but not least, to Kuhn, who is the champion to keep this going year after year and so passionate about it. So thank you, Kuhn. So one more round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. And then last but not least, we'll go to our Employee of the Month, and that will complete my report. We skipped over that.
Let's do that, and then we got to jump to the land trust. So just for members to know, we're going to be skipping around a bit.
Keeping y'all flexible. Thank you, everybody. Thanks again. And remind your principals that you get extra credit in government, English, all of it. Humanities, yeah. Right. Great civics education. Okay, Megan, if you're in the house, if you'll, oh, I think she's online. There she is. Megan is out in schools. I forgot about that, Megan. I think you're out conducting training or something today. Yes, we surprised Megan with this. So I am really excited to present Megan Lopez to you. Megan has been with us for 6 years. She serves on our assessment team, and just one of our favorite people. We describe her in many ways that she could do any job. Just so smart, so dedicated, so full of sunshine, just really a great asset, a team player. And Sydney Carter, her supervisor, nominated her in part because of the work she's done with Assessment to Achieve. This is something that you all as board members have probably heard from your districts and charters, how much they appreciate this professional learning opportunity. And Megan has really leaned in and kept this going and found out ways to keep it going through the pandemic, and then engaged in this redo to pivot to this A2A plus, as we call it. So she's been really implementing innovative solutions and has been the driving force behind the resources that really help our LEAs improve. I love this line about her. Her energetic and friendly approach has been noticed and appreciated not only by her peers, but in the schools that she supports. And we also have education partners who say the same things about Megan. So this is just like one of about 20 hats that Megan wears. So she's getting highlighted specifically for this particular program, but Megan is just such a vital part of our organization. She's one who crosses out of her department to other departments and really supports others in their work. And we just are thrilled that Megan has been with us. Can't believe she's been here 6 years. It seems like yesterday. But great employee, and we're so happy to honor her this month. So give it up for Megan Lopez.
Thank you, Megan.
Thank you, Megan. Thanks for tuning in and staying on standby when you're out in the field. Appreciate it. And that concludes my report, Chair.
Okay, thank you, Superintendent.